Hello, fellow robots out there in Internet Land. I am Supertron, and welcome back to the next episode of Titancraft Season 6 here on Tango Tech's Patreon server. And as always, guys, if you want to join me and this fantabulastic community, all the information you need is down in the description for Tango Tech's Patreon page. Guys, we're back in the mines, but we're not doing anything in here today. No, 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 no. I did add a roof. There's a roof on this thing. Uh, it came very close to not fitting in. I'm glad I counted and I did math. Here, let me just show you what I mean. So I did this domed roof. And like these blocks here, yeah, that's the surface. Where's a good spot to break through? Probably here. Boom, surface right there. Which is nice because if I wanted to add like a subfloor and do some kind of gravity blocks, I now have space. I thought about raising it 2 blocks higher in here. Glad I didn't. I'm super glad I did not do that. But that's all we've done in here since my last episode. I'm actually recording this very shortly after that word, since I wrapped up the last episode, because that episode, I went back and looked at the recording timestamps. It took me almost a month to record, just because of work and life and stuff, so yeah, that took a very long time. The other thing I've done since wrapping up that episode is I've been busy using our new furnace room design, which looks fantastic, and I have made some tools and things for our shop because I have been neglecting it severely. I was 100% out of silk picks, I was 100% out of bows, and our shovels were very low. Everything else is looking pretty good in the shop, so I'm going to take all of this over there. We're probably going to make another trip to the shopping district later on because I have an idea for a new shop, guys. Utilizing all the glorious wool that we are getting from our sheep farm, which we made, which seems like a lifetime ago. So today's episode is gonna be crazy. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I know some things I'm doing. I just don't know where it's gonna take us. So let me get this in the shop, and we'll start off on our first plans, which is gonna be some stuff back there in the Royal District. All of our new product for our shop has been delivered, and yeah, it's good. I neglected that thing way too much for way too long. But here we are inside our amazing looking trading hall, guys. I love this design. I love what we did in here, what Kash and I came up with, and I want to continue this. I want to make this kind of royal area, this royal quarter of our base more, just more everything. So initially, I was going to use these 2 walls as some staircases that are going to go up to a second level, but I've scrapped that idea. I'm going to tear them out, and we're going to have some more, first floor access out this. Hi, hi there, buddy. Here's my sword. In your face. In your face. There we go. In your face. Oh, it's raining outside. Yay. We're gonna go outside here, and we're going to use all of this chickens, all of this flatness here, that I didn't plan for. I just felt like leveling this out a while ago, and we're gonna extend this royal quarter out and add in a bunch of rooms. We have some ideas for this stuff in here. Like we know we want a royal library, with like a king's private study, some royal sleeping quarters, and we can use both sides here of our kind of flatness to get this done. So what I think I'm going to do first is using some wool, we're going to make some carpets, and we're just going to find out where all of these paths are going to take us. Let's get some black carpet first, and then some purple. There we go. So I'm going to have to modify some of this stuff here, but I just want to make sure I'm following the line correctly. So that should be black there, and then there and there. So I'm going to create these 5 wide paths, out this door, out that door, and I'm just going to build the initial kind of framework for how all of this is going to come together. So using the black and then purple, thank you. We're just going to do this for loudness, stupid villagers. We're just going to do this. I'm trying to figure out how. I know I want a similar pattern that's inside there on these walls here. So I got to map all that out. I might have to change some of these blocks up. But what I want to do is have a nice long hallway here with offshoots that lead to other rooms, and eventually it's going to connect up nicely to our dome nut. So I have a lot of carpet placement to do. I might have to tear some of that down too, depending on how far out we go. I'm not 100% sure yet. The reason I want to do this is because I think this will give me a lot of little projects to do, and given my work schedule right now, I think that would help me out a lot. That big project like the mine, it's great and all, and I want to get back to it, but having these kind of small bite-sized chunks that I can work on more quickly, words sober, would really just help me out. It'll help Cash out too. I know she's been working a lot as well. But yeah, let me get on this. Let me do this side and that side. Lay some carpet and maybe the ground floor level of where these rooms are gonna go. And then we'll see what we're gonna work on today. I love it how I usually say one thing and then do the exact opposite. So the very first room that Cash and I decided to do is a library. So she's working on that right now. She really, really wants to do a library, get it done. Uh, and yeah, so it's a bigger space than I had intended for these places by Cash. So yeah, there's that. Uh, Now this isn't everything. I want to have some more offshoots off this hallway. And then we haven't even really touched the other side at all yet. I need to flatten this out and fill it in, not flatten, but fill it in with some stone and things, just to lay all that carpet down. But this little room was very, very resource intensive in the dark oak department. All those trapdoors are a real pain in the butt, and we even ran out of redstone lamps. I had to go kind of buy out the shopping district. I think I got like 13 stacks, maybe. I don't. Ah, just break it. There we go. I think I got like 13 stacks. Not 100% sure. That's not it. That's it. So yeah, about 13 stacks. I don't know. Math sometimes hurts my brains. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave Cash to her own devices over there while I sort out this area on this side. I definitely want this. Well, I definitely want this place to have smaller rooms. I'm thinking over here would be more like staterooms, maybe like the royal chambers and other lower nobility, maybe on the first floor, and then have some staircase up somewhere to like the king's chamber, which would be big. But I'm not even sure I'm gonna work on the second floor yet today. I think I just want to get a layout for this ground level done, and then we'll see where this takes us. I'm not sure what I want to do in here today. I have other plans, namely, like I talked earlier, in the shopping district. To do another shop, so let me get all this ready to go, just so we have, essentially a blank canvas to start our work on, and I will see you guys in a bit. Couple hours later, and we've got this new area pretty much wrapped up, at least with the library. There is still a couple more things I want to do in these hallways and things, but a lot of this first kind of phase of it is done. I love what we did with the ceiling. Me and Cash just kind of played with it for a little bit, and we went with a lot of strip logs, bone blocks, and it just turned out really well. Adding in the stripped oak logs really just brightened up the place, and we really loved it. And then our library, I love what Cash did in here, using the lecterns and little trapdoors. I think it looks so fantastic. But yeah, let's get rid of this guy right here. You don't need to be here anymore. I still need to connect some stuff up, so it's mostly done. I just need to wrap up a few little odds and ends. I've also started work on the other side, going with the same idea, same design. But the rooms just can't really get much smaller than they already are. I haven't worked on the interiors of them yet, but just because of how the depth of the room is and those layered effects from the walls, it just makes it a little difficult. I do have an idea, though, for one of these rooms. Not 100% sure yet on this one, but we're not going to do that today. There's still a lot more work to do here, actually, with more trim and decorative things and ceilings and such. But for right now, I wanted to actually go build a new shop, guys. We're going to do one more. I think this might be our last one. And we're going to be using our wool farm over here. And we're going to start selling this stuff. Let's go toward the begin. So I've already kind of prepped the area a little bit. I've placed all my first kind of round of stock in, matching shulker boxes. And we're going to make a shop. And there's this particular area that I want to put this in. There's already kind of an established, kind of colorful area of the shopping district that just kind of emerged naturally over time. And I want to put it there. There is already at least one wool shop, possibly two there. But I want to, add in some competition. So I'm going to head over there. I have an idea. I think it's funny. Some of you may think it's funny. Some of you may think it's not. But it gives me a little chuckle. And so I'm going to head over there, and I'm actually just going to build it and show it to you guys, because it shouldn't take long at all. So I will see you guys in a little bit once that new shop is all complete. I don't know what it is when Cash and I come together and we actually have time to, be online at the same time. We just will pump out projects, guys. Like, we go through this stuff so quickly. Once we get an idea in our head and it works, we just go. And finishing up these ceilings probably took about an hour. We just kind of get into a rhythm. I'll place something down and she'll come through. Like I placed all the logs down, she came through with an axe and just stripped them all. And then I'll work on something else and she'll follow in behind me. And it works. We're such a good duo. She's also finished up our library, and I absolutely love what she did in here, particularly with the lecterns. I don't know. I would have never thought of this. Um, I don't know sometimes she just gets these ideas and they just work so well. The one thing I think I'm going to change is I think I'm going to add in another entrance over there because I do plan on having other rooms in this hallway in the quiet in the near future. Not today, but we will get to it. I absolutely want to add some more stuff to these hallways and potentially some staircases up to an additional level in the future. Now, working over here has benefited me very nicely because I've been neglecting trading with our villagers and my shops are running low. So I've been able to resupply. I've even got some like temporary shulkers up here to put some stuff in. So it's worked out really well because we are super low on stock on certain things. But in addition to all that too, whoop, I've finished this. Not finished, but I've laid the groundwork for this opposite side. It's the same kind of shape, same design, except instead of one large room in the middle, I've got two smaller ones. I wish I could have done some even smaller ones, but it gets to the point where the interior space is just getting a little bit crowded, especially once I add in the other kind of interior walls to it like I've done on the outside here. I do have an idea for one of these rooms. We're not going to go with like state houses or like bedrooms like I talked about earlier. I'm thinking about doing like a kind of king's war room almost and having a big central table, chairs, and a map and all that fun stuff in this room. Not sure on this one yet, but I'm sure I'll come up with an idea in the future and we'll work on that. That's kind of what this place is for. I want to kind of have an idea. Oh, I know exactly where to put that, but I want to have like the space to do it. So we're going to probably do a few of those in this space in the near future. But for right now, I've said it. I want to go to the shopping district. I want to build a new shop, and we are going to be selling wool. So I've already placed the first kind of stock in some shulker boxes down here in our sheep farm, all color coded. So that's going to be how we sell it. But I need to build a shop first. I have an idea. I think it's a little goofy. I think it's a little silly, but it's what I want, and no one can change my mind. There's actually an area in the shopping district where there's kind of, it's almost like the color district almost, let's not forget that, where blocks of color, concrete, glass, and wool and carpet and things are sold. So I'm going to put it there, and it's going to look really funny. Hopefully it works out well. I have an idea. We'll see if it works, but I'm probably just going to go there and do it and show you guys when I get back. It shouldn't take me too long to build. It's only going to take, I think, some dark oak and a little bit of quartz. So actually, I'm going to grab that shulker too. I'm going to grab that shulker too. It's inside here. And I'll see you guys when it's done because I think it's going to be funny and hopefully it works out really well for us. So here we are in the shopping district, standing on top of Cable Guy's head. These things just are everywhere on the server, guys. You can't go anywhere without seeing a Cable Guy statue. I am a fan of ours, though, because I modified it to look like the real thing. It's very enjoyable. I love it. But yeah, so I mentioned it earlier, but there's this color district over here, and you can start to see it loading in right now. Yeah, colors, colorful. You got the helix, you got some kind of music note, and then you've got little, I call it Chili Willy. I don't know if it's actually called Chili Willy, but it's a penguin. And this is exactly where I wanted to build my shop, was across from this guy, and that's mine. It looks nothing like what's sold inside, but it's a woolly mammoth, and it sells wool. So in my head, it makes a whole lot of sense. I found this design online that I slightly modified. It would have been great to make it out of brown wool. However, stairs and slabs, like most things in the game, just don't work out. And then I myself modified the tusks a little bit. They looked a little flat in the design I found, and even this block I'm not a fan of, but it's too, like, you know, top slab with a bottom slab on top. It looks better than it did. Hi. Hello. Dragon head. It looks better than it did in the original design, at least I think so, and I think it turned out really well. But inside, underneath here, is where we can buy all of our wool, and I just went with a, you know, a cool little cavey idea. I was gonna add in some more like leaves and water and things, but you know, I think it looks good with the contrast of the different colored chokers against the mostly gray background. And yeah, so it works out really well. But my favorite part is when you exit. Yeah, clear glass. That's a little pain in the butt. You end up in the, you know, woolly mammoth's poop pile. So there's that. I don't know why I thought of that. I just want to kind of have a little mental chuckle for every time I pick up diamonds from there. I know somebody's gonna run into a pile of mammoth poop, and that's fantastic in my opinion. But yeah, I have to do some grindy stuff in between cuts here because I am absolutely out of some stuff at our shop, namely ARCs, our little Digidie boxes above recovery kits, completely sold out, and they take a little while to make. I've been slowly making them over the last few days, but I kind of just need to get down to it and finish those up, or at least try to finish up as much as as much as possible because they just take forever, and I hate being out of stock of things. So I'm gonna go do that. Hopefully, I get some progress done. I have a lot of books still I need to gather and levels to get and all that fun stuff. So I'll be back in a little bit. So it's just been over a day of a very, very grindy process to get enough materials to make a new set of arcs. I'm almost there though. The biggest pain right now that I'm dealing with is one, I'm almost out of books that I need completely, and I think I need to restock the books in my shop. And two, our raid farm, as amazing as it is right now, that it works really just crazy mechanics, occasionally, from time to time, our mobs will entity cram a bit up there and some of them die. And if our guard captains die and none of them land at the bottom, I can't keep raids just continuously going. So I've done a bit of work at our outpost over here uh, to make kind of a more AFKable kind of bad omen farm. I don't know what else to call that. So we are going to use a modified design of one of these that I've already built. I actually built it for Eliza and a couple of her friends a couple months ago now, I think. Um, I'm not building it as it is in the tutorial that I found. Basically, what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a couple iron golems inside. Our mobs are going to spawn out there, and they are going to aggro on those dudes, but they're going to fall down a hole. 4 holes to be exact. And then eventually they're going to make their way through these little paths and end up right here. Now, normally in this farm, they would then go up a bubble vader to like 120 blocks higher, and they'll take a little bit of fall damage, and then you can just stand up here and kill them. I don't want a tall glass pillar here, though. For some reason, I'm fine with our raid farm being there in the proximity of where our mountain's going to be, but for some reason, I don't want one here, like a nice tall glass pillar thing. So what I'm going to do instead is just kind of funnel them downward. Come here, guard captain. The amount of times I spend looking for just one of you is a pain. And now I have bad omen effect. Great. But yeah, so this is really simple. I'm going to funnel them down, like I said, instead of up. It should be fairly simple to do. Let's see, that one. I think I need to place another block here. Water block. There. Yeah, so all these 4 kind of water streams are all going to connect up. They're going to lead to one spot. And then just need to make a little kill chamber down there, make a little access point for us to get into. And then, yeah, should be fairly easy to just stand there for a few minutes and get the bad omen effect whenever we want. I am sacrificing a bit of efficiency by not just taking it up to the sky, and honestly, I'm fine with that. I'd rather it be a little bit more low profile, kind of just at ground level and below, as opposed to up high in the sky. Yeah, this episode, guys, has been a little weird, and it's great in some aspects because I have just been doing a lot of kind of base improvement, quality of life improvement stuff for me, and planning things out for future expansion and things. And I actually like that. Normally, I'll pick one massive project and just do it till it's done, and yeah, that kind of burns me out sometimes. So this has been nice to kind of go back and forth between stuff. I hope it's not too crazy for you guys. It kind of reminds me of just randomness, which is fine. I like it. Sometimes a little randomness in your life is good. So I'm going to finish this up. And then there's one more thing I want to work on, and it's something I said I was never going to do again. Let's see if you people remember what that was, because it's something back at our base to make this whole process of kind of enchanting things a bit better. But yeah, I said it months ago. I would never do this again, and we're going to do it. And I hope Kash doesn't find out about it until she watches this episode, because hopefully I can just do it without her knowing. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to take me a while to do. But I'll be back once this is done. I'll show you guys the final result. Hopefully it works out really well. And then, yeah, we'll continue on to that last project of the day. Look at all those down there. Jeez. Wow. This is awesome. I gotta say, this new little kind of nothing is amazing. It just looks so weird. It just looks like a giant hole in the ground with a square in it. It works fantastically, as you can see by our little friends spawning in and then instantly falling into the hole. I put a little just block up here to watch it to make sure everything was going good. Now, from time to time, one will kind of spawn, and it takes a second for them to see the iron golems, but if they're spawning in the corners, what I've noticed, they don't see them at all. So it's a little upsetting, but yeah, I'm not up here most of the time. I just did this to make sure everything was working really nice. You can see that guy, yeah, he's just not gonna move, and he'll eventually just despawn like he did right there. Wow, it's almost like I'm doing it, but I'm not. I swear to God. But yeah, this is what I did to get down into the hole, to come down here and kill these guys. So I don't really care about loot for any of these dudes at all, so it's all hooked up into a dropper that spits things in the lava. We could just stand here and kill and kill and kill until we get that amazing bad omen effect. And it works fairly well. The beauty of it is I don't have to actually... Oh, look at that, right there. I don't actually have to stand and manually kill them up top now. I can just stand there, and you can see that was like a minute to not even a minute to get the bad omen effect, which is pretty fantastic. I've used this already. I've already combined all of our amazing books that were up inside of our raid farm. But yeah, I have to go back to base now to show you guys the next project. But first, I need to get rid of this bad omen. So I'll see you guys there in a minute because I really don't want a raid starting at our villager trading hall. Okay, guys, Bad Omen has disappeared. I drank some milk. It was delicious. But I wanted to talk about the next thing I wanted to do. So I've been slowly working on these arcs for like a week now. And I've been placing everything here. The only things I'm really missing now are swords, which I'll have a slot for there, and then our armor, which I think I have pants done. I still need boots, elytra, and our helmets, which is all laid out here for us nicely. So my problem right now is our cactus farm. Okay? I have 64 furnaces in here, and it's great for minor projects. I mean, nothing's minor when it comes to me. Minor projects. The problem is the rate at which the cactus is replenished. Now, I can't do anything about the speed at which, the cactus burns inside these furnaces. But what I found is I usually have enough fuel or enough cactus in the back stored back there for 2 good rounds of using all the furnaces. So I can use all the furnaces up on both sides of the room, and then they cook more cactus, do all that fun stuff, and then I can use them immediately afterwards again. But at that point is where I start to run into issues to where if I used them all, these back ones would just not have any cactus in them at all because it's just going too slow. So what I need to do is add more cactus to our cactus farm. And I know I said it months ago when I built the thing originally that I would never build this cactus farm again. It is so many blocks. But yeah, I'm just adding another layer. I'm going to add a 4th layer to the top of this thing. I think it's going to increase it by about 1,300 seed cactus. But yeah, I have an issue with it though, is that I should have probably built our storage room a few blocks higher. I've already templated it out here, and this is going to be the new roof of our storage, and that's the not our storage, of our cactus farm, and that's the floor of our storage. So there's a 1 block gap that's going to exist. But I've got all this redstone little components down here that I have to modify. I already know how I'm going to do it. I just hope everything fits. Some of the stuff might have to be sitting on top of the glass, so we'll see how that all works. So I think I'm going to do this portion first, and then just go full-on crazy and add a 4th layer to this thing. Now, it's still not going to be enough to add in, to mitigate what's going on in our furnace room, but, it's better than nothing. I'd rather do it than not. So I'm in store for a lot of fun. So I'm just over 3 hours into this project of mine, and I am already regretting it, mostly from having to break all this glass, but also because I'm probably around 2/3 done with kind of the first phase of this thing, which is just lots of glass breaking and then placing this kind of first iteration of things. But I have finally found a groove to this, and it's making it go a lot quicker. I essentially will break 2 rows of glass and then come in and fill in all of these bits. Now, I still have to go through and place all the sand and all the cactus, and then even more walls, fence posts, and then those end rods there. And yeah, so it's taking a little bit of time, but you know, what else am I gonna do? You know, I wanted to do this project, and it's getting done now, so I might as well just keep on going. Now, I'm not super worried about saving this glass. I have a lot of it, but I am still trying to save it. Now, some of it's ending up in my inventory, some of it is falling all the way down, and it's ending up in the system, and other bits of it are getting destroyed, which is fine, like I said. But the ones that aren't are actually making their way nicely into our kind of composter array up over here, to where it'll just end up in these hoppers over here. So yeah, if I just come up here periodically, I can see that items are making their way in here. How did so many freaking fence posts end up in there? Jeez, I must have dropped the stack accidentally. Yeah, just more and more of the stuff. I did end up modifying all of these little redstone circuits. It's the same exact design that we have at our raid farm. Essentially, just a dropper tower with some observers detecting it off of note blocks. The cool thing about this, though, is it's not completely silent. I can actually hear it, the note blocks going off as like a shulker goes up that way. That's what our little bone meal dispenser things feed back in there. So this is like the shulker loop right here. Empty shulkers will spit out the bottom and then work their way back up to go back into the system to be used again. So yeah, it's working out quite nicely. There is kind of one drawback that I absolutely have with doing all this, though, and that is I actually can't use our furnaces right now. It's a little bit annoying. I could be, you know, combining those books onto the tools and armor, but because I want all the items I drop to end up there and not in the 64 hoppers that are at our furnace XP farm, I actually can't use it right now, which is kind of ironic. The whole point of me expanding this is to use that farm more often, and now I can't even use it for this little bit of time. I have to estimate that this is probably going to take me another. It took me 3 hours to get to this point. It's probably going to take me another hour and a half to get all of this done, and then all the cactus and all that stuff. It's going to take me easily 6 more hours to get this thing done. Where did I leave off? So yeah, I'm just going to put a movie on and just keep on grinding away like I have been. But I'll come back once it's done, and we'll wrap things up for today. And as always, guys, I severely, severely underestimated how long it would take to add in this beautiful, beautiful fourth layer of our cactus farm. We're sitting at, I can't even remember the math. I just know that each layer is 1,296 cactus, so whatever that is times 4. I should be able to do that easily in my head, but I am way too tired. It took 11 hours in total to add in this fourth layer. I blame it all on the glass breaking. It was horrible. It took so long. And also, in a moment, probably, we're going to lose all of our beacon effects. And there was really no good place to put one. Yep, there it goes. So sad. Sad, sad, sad. But I do have room to walk down here, which is nice. I mathed wrong somehow. And yeah, so I can walk very nicely underneath here. Just barely. Not that I really need to for anything, but yeah, it is what it is. But that's it, guys. I'm done. I'm wrapping this up. This episode took a lot longer than I thought it would because of this monstrosity here. It's done, though. I'm no way gonna add any more to this. I did contemplate it for a little bit, adding it in these corner bits. But yeah, there's no way, absolutely no way, shape, or form that that is gonna end up happening. But yeah, I'm calling it quits here, guys. Took a long time. I have lots of plans coming up, guys. This mountain base ain't gonna build itself. So until next time, you guys have a good one.